So here we have another beautiful day. Got a little bit of a north wind, and I'm gathering stuff. So put you right there. I'll show you what I'm making in a minute. Go ahead now. Go ahead. Yeah. Damn. Don't care. And yes, the dog's been trained to stay back when I'm walking in and out the gate. So I'm going to turn you around and show you where we're taking this. I'll set that down. Here comes a couple cars. We'll have a couple cars go by you. So, our project's going to be over here today. We're working in the back of the F-150. So, that's north. My water comes over top of that hill. And that's plenty, that's a lot taller than this is. And that's how we get water up there without having to pump it up there. Because it comes over that hill. Sorry about the wind, guys. It's Oklahoma. You know, if it's a halfway warm day, the wind's going to be blowing. So, here we go. The problem is I've got a stepdad that's getting weaker, older, and he does pretty good, and sometime later in the afternoon he gets weak. Well, so when we go places, I guess, let's see here, do something like that. Let's see, so when you have this back here, usually somebody pulls out in front of you and slams on the brakes. Well, that puts the chair up against the cab. Well, this is where we're at back here. So Mom's kind of short, so she can't hardly reach it all the time. And you see this little thing here, let's get it. See, and that's what this thing is for. So you can reach up there and reach shit. And that's what the guy that made it, that's actually what he called it, the reach shit. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a box up there against the cab that won't let this chair slide up no farther than that. So that's the project today. I've already got the screws, I've got the drill, I've got the saw, we have a tape measure. Hey, no pencil, no speed square. There's the saw. So let me run down 2 other items, and then we'll get to measuring this out and see what size of box we need to keep our stuff from sliding up in the back of the truck. Keep it back here where we can reach it. It's accessible. In some incidents, he does fall. He loses balance really easy. And when he does fall, then it's a scramble to get the chair, get him something he can sit in, and then get him up and get him sitting in the chair and let him relax for a while. So I'm gonna go round up some more stuff. I'll be back. All right, found me a pencil and I found me a square. So now what I want to do is I want to kind of set this somewhere. I'm thinking that's going to work like that. You can see what I'm looking at here. And we got the side of the bed here, so that'll kind of stay that way, and you could put stuff right there and that would kind of hold it. It might slide around this way a little bit, but I'm gonna make a box to go up and across, come back and around, and then have a board here so this cannot slide forward anymore when you hit the brakes, because sometimes you need to get this out so people can use it. See, Ford done a good thing right here. I mean, they got these things that you can put a board in between. Kelly's truck does pretty good too. Up there they ain't got nothing like that, or in the wheel well. Got one here on the top of the wheel well to set a board crossways in case you're putting a bed in here or something. But yeah, so anyway, enough with the chatter. And I know the wind's still blowing, so it just is what it is, folks. That's all I can tell you, I guess. So what I'm thinking is somewhere about 2 foot. Look, right there. That would work. That would work great. Now, oh, sorry. Knock y'all over. Don't pay attention when doing. Alright, so we have a 58 inch going that way. 58 inches. And then you know what? Let's do something that would make sense. Let's use a square. So if that's square with that, and it's back against this piece, that says 9 1/4. Would work. So we're going to take 9 1/4 for a board going this way up here. We'll do that times 2 on both sides. Then we need a 24. 2 for both sides. We need a 58 to go across. You keeping track of this? Because I'm getting lost already. So we better just stop and go cut us some 2-footers and some 9 1/4 before I get too much more involved and forget numbers. Numbers is hard, folks. I don't care what you say, they still hard. Get my butt off there. So, yeah. So I installed this here a while back. They used to have an RV and they'd let it sit here on the slab. So they wanted a place to plug it up. So we run that underground wire. It runs over to that one. And that one's got an RV plug in it and regular 110s. I need to double box this side right here like I do over yonder. And then it goes over to the pole right there and drops off. So yeah, pretty easy setup, no big deal. Come out of the pole and I run electric all the way down to the barn. Took 100 amp service down there, or 50 amp service down there to be able to run a welder in there. So I'm gonna drag my chop saw over to that spot and we'll get to cutting some boards. So yeah, you don't want me to fling you around all the time, so time out. Here we go. All right, listen to the wind a minute, guys. Yep. All right. These boards are actually the one that was on the porch. So not good enough to walk on anymore. But they'll be all right for holding stuff still while we drive around. All right. 2 foot, 2 foot, 9 1/4, 9 1/4. That should work. Just like this old thing. Should work. All righty. Watch your ears, folks. Here we go. sure your cuts go all the way through. Otherwise you'll get trim that up. Alright, so there goes 4 pieces we need. You know what? I already know I'm gonna go check that measurement again. So that is a 1-inch board. If this is supposed to be 58.5, I'm going to take 2 off of it. So then we're going to call it 56.5. Right there. There's that one. I went and measured this. It's going to be a should be 51.5. Take 2 off of, be 49. Get over here. Right there. All right then. Now we should be done with this. Just load up all your stuff. Go up here where we can work. So we get all our pieces cut. I got this little slab right here, concrete. I understand the wind's blowing over here, but the sun ain't shining anyhow. So, yeah. Let's see if I can lay this out where you can see it and it makes sense to you. If it don't make sense yet. Okay, so. I think it won't be right there, maybe. Wrong bit. Hold on. And we're back. We're better. Woohoo. Alright then. Now, like that, gonna be close to what I want, maybe. Yep, I did that. That machine don't pre-drill your wood. And it cracked it again. That's all right. That is going to do exactly what I want it to do. So now I'm going to take this and go put it inside there. See what I'm saying? You want to see what I'm saying? I'm going to put this inside there, and then I'm going to end up marking these where these will fit up against the wheel wells, and then we'll put this board on the end. But I'm going to take the front piece in and pre-mark it now. That way I can figure out where it needs to be. I'm building this all out here, and then I'm going to put it in, and the idea is to put it in where it can move a little bit, but it's not going to slide front, back, forward, side to side, all that great distances. So anyway, pretty light. That's going to do exactly what we want it to do, I believe. And in order to go ahead and have this, and bring you, I know you're going to want to see this too, because I don't know, you know, if you got a cover and put stuff in the back of your truck, it's kind of nice for it not to flop around. That's going to sit in there just awesome. And so, oh, you can't see nothing. Well, you know. The struggle's real. Alright, and then, so now, I like that spot. It can't move side to side much. So, sit right there. Yeah, I'm coming. Okay. If that 2 foot were to be right there, I believe right there's where I want it. Alright, so now, see, I'm keeping that board off of this. It ought to be over against it, but the way the bed mounts to the frame, that's about 3 inches in. And I think that's where I want to be on this board. Pretty easy. It's 3 inches in on each side. Alright, now so let's say this. These side boards are 24, then we put the front board on, it's going to be make it 25. So there's where we're going to be at this point. So the square is how far it's coming out. Let's look at this going across this way, and I said 50 and a half. It's more like 50 and a quarter. Then you take 2 inches, so that's going to be 48. But no, I didn't take 2 inches. I took 2 inches, but I didn't need to. So those boards have to go over against the fender wells to keep this thing from rocking and rolling, jumping, running side to side and whatnot, you know. So anyway, put the reach sheet up there. Yep. Drag this up 2 foot again. I just don't like the idea of that sitting right there, but that's just a me thing, I guess. So that's where the new one will be, and that's where that sideboard will be. Then over here, we're going to do the same thing. On this side, going up there 22 foot. Well, see what I mean by that bolt's in the way. Is that lined up? Can you see that? Sorry about your ears. Work zone, you know. So yeah, those will have to stay up against this, otherwise it'll flop around, because I took the 2 inches off of this board. So it is what it is. At least I got the 2 pieces on this up there at the front, so it can't slide either. These pieces back here won't let it slide. Plus it's not going to let the wheelchair slide up under to the front of the truck anymore. Did you catch all of that? Probably not, with the wind blowing and no microphone. I have microphones, I just choose not to use them, because you're going to tell me how I need to quit smoking because of my breathing. And I understand you. I love y'all. Trust me. So now we get to take this and add on and make it more what we need. Oh. So yeah. Yep. I still yet to see what the dogs are barking at. There it is. Just being dogs, I guess. You know. Sorry, son. Alright. Continue to build. Yeah. Turn you in. Alright. So I'm not going to drill. Just going to drill, run it through with this. And then I'll change screws, because that one's hot now. Sweep this around. Chip mark. Where's that mark? Right there. Alright then. Different screw. on. I'll get that one in a minute. Yeah, you know what? Looking for green screws and green grass? Yeah. I know it's right here though, so I know where to take the magnet. Run across to try to find it. Now let's see how we done this way. This looks like it's gonna work. Well, she's a little sprung. But I guess this is my board. Yep. So now put this into this. You see what I'm doing? No? Can't see nothing. Can't see a thing. Still can't. Okay. So I'm down there. We're going to put this up to this because I cut that to run on the outside. Like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know the board's bowed and it shouldn't be like that. Hey, these are used boards. They're going to be all kinds of goofy and wonky, and I mean, they sit outside on the porch for 20 years. I mean, now look what I've done to this corner. See how I'm trying to look, getting this all squared and where it's laying flat. Comes across here, now look what happened. See that? Now what do you do? That's messed up. You'll never get that to go together. How in the world? What was you thinking? Well, just give me a minute. Start this process. The knife! Hey! Time out. is sitting on some grass right there, but I believe we accomplished what we was doing. So let's see what happened. Mail's here. Good, he didn't stop. Woohoo! No bills. We don't have any bills. Just electric and propane and water. So and so you see that? Watch. Don't make a sound. Driving down the road, it'll fit down, it'll fall down in there better. And if it doesn't, then that's fine too, because that gives me a spot to grab a hold of it and where I can take it out if we need to. So now, got that done. So now we got the wheelchair in here, back far enough for the handles, but we can still reach the handles. All the way across there, wheelchair can't slide forward anymore. Plus we got a bin to put stuff, keep it from just plopping around all of the bed. So anyway, guys, you know, I've had so many new subscribers come over my channel, and I appreciate you so much. And this isn't my land, this is my stepdad's land, my mom's land. Well, it's actually my stepsister's land now, but it goes, you want to focus in, but way back there there's a barn, and just before you get to that barn there's a fence. So it goes half a section mile back, and it's just beautiful. Not a lot of trees, just a little rolling hills up here in northeast Oklahoma. You can tell it drops off and goes down the hill that way. So from the pine trees here to the flag and down to these trees, this all used to be the garden area. That's what my grandpa made the garden area for years, and Johnny Bob's grandpa for before him. So anyway, that's about all I know about that. Yeah, we do have a few pets buried right here under these trees. And that's the one is where Tiny would say, he would lay down in the shade right there, and as Grandpa was working in the garden, he was a standard weenie dog. Anyway, we called him Tiny, but he was a good 30-pound weenie dog. I mean, that big around, that tall, legs about like that, about that long. But anyway, this is one of my little projects to do here at the house. Stuff I get into, stuff I do. This is something we come across. They went on a trip, figured out that had a hard time getting to the wheelchairs, so they decided they wanted to do something about making something where they don't just flop everywhere in here. So hopefully this will get them fixed up and what they want. If not, you'll see, because this will turn into, well, what did it take to make the wheelchairs stay still in the back of the truck? And it's not the driving. They drive amazing. They're more cautious than anybody I've ever seen. I mean, we all been around Arkansas a little while, a few days there, and you can always find the one that's driving 40 mile an hour on a 55 mile an hour road. Yeah, might look at the back of the truck and see if it's got a John Deere trailer hitch plug in it. It might be me one day, not today. You know me, I go 100 mile an hour everywhere I go. So anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all watching my little video. Just something I'm doing today. Kill some time waiting on some answers. See if other projects are going to get kicked off just right now, or if we're waiting, dragging our feet. All the stuff. Money situations, all of it. I wish I was a millionaire, because let me tell you, I'd be burning these roads up to every one of you's house that needed something done, because that's just the way I like to do it. And I like being on other people's videos, not for me, but to show the help that they needed and what they can get accomplished with just a couple more fingers, or another set of eyes to look at it. Just, we all go through that case. What is this way you want to do it? Can we do it this way? What's the cheapest? What's the most reasonable? What are we doing later that could add or subtract from what we're doing right now? So, love each and every one of you all. Thank you so much. And yeah, shout out to my girl JB. And if you guys did not know, 1320 Video, they are a YouTube channel as well. Killer shirts, love them. I like to watch their videos. I like drag racing. I like any kind of racing, basically. Four-wheelers, dirt bikes. Dirt bikes was really what I got into a lot. But now I'm getting more into the side-by-sides, four-wheelers. I had a three-wheeler for years. Everybody says it's illegal and, oh, you can't ride that. And yeah, it spit me off a few times and got right back up, rolled it back over, started back up, and go on. And turn around and do it again around the next corner. And just a fun time. And picking yourself up off the ground from time to time is good, because that lets you know where you stand in this world. It's not how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you stand back up and say, hey, we got to keep going. Can't stop now. We got, there's a lot more life to live. God's put us here all for a purpose. I haven't found mine yet. Some people say I have. This is what I do, is help other people. And yeah, ramble on about my stupid self. It's not me. It's hard for me to do, because yeah, just by no means is this channel me. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I want to show the love that God has given me. There was lands bought for us kids to have all 20 acres. Things come up, hard times come up, sell it off. We all know how the story goes, right? And by the time you get your kids down, then you ain't got nothing, there's nothing for them. Well, that's kind of what this situation was. But I was out here at the time. I was living upstairs in their house, and there was no barn across the road. And they said, well, let's take that barn down and build you a house there, because that was still 43.9 acres over there that they owned, which goes down into the bottom down below me, which, it's pretty cool. So 9/10 of acres, that's somewhere for me to put a house, somewhere for bring my stuff, put it in, get it out of storage, stuff like that. So that's what I end up doing, and that's how I become here. So I lived here in 2008. I let my house go in prior. Me and Chase Manhattan couldn't get along after the divorce from my second wife, and I took the shop down that I'd built, a 24 by 25 shop in the back of the house. So all the tin that's on the east side of my building is used tin. It's all from the other shop. And I left them a slab of concrete laying there and said, sorry, you can just have it, whatever. But I just couldn't make them happy and they couldn't make me happy, so we just couldn't come to terms. Now, before, when I got the house, before I got married, it was all in my name because I got it before we got married. But we did stay together for several years. And that's why I give her half of my 401k when we got divorced, because I started that with her being there in my life and helping contribute to my life, my kids' life. So that's kind of the way that went. Cool beans. Mailman didn't stop here either, so no bills at either house. That's always a win. But no. Some of my backstory. I'll let you know straight up. I have been to prison. I got locked up when I was 19. Got in a bunch of trouble when I was 18, 19. And it rolled around for a while. And I got out, and Mays County was trying to play it off like I was running from them and stuff, and I was hiding. I lived right there in town prior all of those years, every one of them. And prior PD was right there. I mean, Mays County, Sheriff Department. It's not hard to find me. Just ask somebody where I'm at. A lot of people in that town know who I am because I grew up there all my life. Went to school there, graduated. Wasn't ever much in school. Didn't play sports, nothing like that. Went to FFA for a couple of years. Turned around and went into auto mechanics. And it wasn't really a VOTEC type. It was and wasn't. It wasn't a specific VOTEC classes, other than the fact these were just automotive classes with the school perimeters like they did back in the 60s. And actually, my auto mechanic teacher taught my dad when he was in high school. So, and he lived across the road from me. So, where I lived in town. So, he knew I could work on stuff. So, I told him I want to change to go to his class, he said, that's absolutely fine, come. And most of the time they had pairs where they paired people up, two people to work on cars. A lot of the teachers, faculty brought their cars, needed brake jobs or whatever, oil change, whatever they was doing for it. But so I was an odd man out. And then Mr. Balmer would let, if there was somebody that didn't show up or something, the individual ones, he would let them work on the school buses and do the ones he knew could do the work. And I mean, I put brakes on the buses 3 or 4 times. I mean, everything to going out, starting them up when it's cold and outside, so the teachers or all the bus drivers can get in warm buses, to go home, take the kids home and stuff. That's stuff I done in auto mechanics. I did change transmission out in a Citation once because it was his daughter-in-law, and yeah, that's where my hate for front-wheel drive vehicles started. And I was probably I had to be 17, 16, 17. And I mean, I've been mechanical, done all kinds of stuff all my life. Like I said, I grew up, mom worked all the time, dad was always a truck driver, so he was always gone. Me and brother, we cleaned the house, we done the dishes, we done, mowed the yard, took the trash out, whatever, that's what we done. But in return, we had an amazing childhood. I have to say that. Other than the fact of, here a while back we was talking about charcuterie boards and people that swinging them like paddles and stuff, and I made comment about hearing them crack, and they was thinking cracking the pop sound, when you're whipping a kid with a pallet or a pallet, yeah, paddle or whatever. but or belt, whatever the case. But no, the crack I was talking about is me getting picked up, slammed into the wall, and not exactly fitting in between the studs because there's a stud there, and it cracked the board and blew the drywall out the backside. So that's the crack I was talking about, and I went through that for a lot of my life when I was a kid. My little brother could start crying. I'm in trouble. Don't matter if I'm in the house, outside the house, I'm in trouble. So it got to where I'd be mean to him pretty often, and I just try to keep him run off away from me. Just you get close enough to me, I'm gonna grab you and throw you down and run away. You stay here, leave me alone. But just rambling, man. The some backstory, some of my backstory for you new viewers, and the hardest thing probably was when I was locked up, 22 years old, and I got a phone call in prison, and my grandfather going in for a double heart bypass. Went done great, going through the surgery, didn't make it out of surgery. You talk about somebody's hands tied, I can't leave. I could, and I was still in Oklahoma City at the time, so they did let me go home for the funeral, and the staff there were aggravating, but amazing people as well. Just aggravating because I wasn't getting wanted to do what I wanted to do, I guess, to say it right. Probably more me than them. But they let me go home for Grandpa's funeral, and I said right then and there, you know, you got to change. You can't go on doing what you're doing anymore. It's just not. It's not good, man. So I decided, as stupid as it sounds, I said to myself right there, if I make it through this without catching any more time, which they tried me. They tried me several times. They kept putting pedophiles in my room, in my cell, and we got to love them all. And I was going to love them right back to God. So that's just my mindset back then, and still is. Don't get in a room with me if you fall in them categories, because I see it. I can see it from a mile away. I've been around them type of people. I know them. I know their actions. I know their. I mean, people stop and look at me, and I'm off over in the corner, just kind of sitting, standing, whatever, just kind of lurking around. I'm reading people, because when you're in prison, you have to read people. You have to know what's in that room and what can happen in that room. I was locked up in medium security places, or minimum security places at first. Then I went to a medium security to have dental work done. Stayed an overnight there, got back, and then ended up getting moved to Tulsa, which is closer to where I'm at. And grandmother comes see me more regular than every 2 weeks. And I was basically what kept her going. By the fact of her having to get out of the house and come see what I'm doing and how I'm doing. She didn't have to, but that's just who she was. Kind of like me. If you need me, tell me and I'm there. And if I gotta walk, I'm getting there. So, yeah, some of my backstory. But so I kept her going for a while, and then I'd made up my mind. I'm getting out and having kids, calming my butt down, and I did. Ended up getting married and having kids, and my kids always want to know what kind of bad things I done in this life, and I just explained to them I had to get out of prison to have you. How bad does that have to be? You don't need all the details. You don't want to know what I done. I'll tell you what I done. I'll tell you everything I done. I don't care. I can't be judged for what I was when I was 19. And if you're that narrow-minded, I don't need you around me. But because I'm not that man. I'm not that man today. God's worked on me more probably since 2008, since I moved out here, than he ever did when I was in town. In town, I was pretty comfortable. I had a good paying job, buying a house, buying a Suburban, built a shop. I had 2 or 3 projects going on. That's this part you see laying in my yard. The one piece of frame that's set beside the S10 is kind of a T bucket kind of style frame, but it's got a flat fender Willys body that sits on part of it that's made into like a T bucket. So you'll just have to see the parts for that to make sense to you. I'm pretty sure. But like where the wheel wells are in the Jeep, they cut it and made it go across to make it like a T bucket or whatever with a little bed on the back. Anyway, this gets this project done and I'm wrapped up. Thank you again to all your new subscribers. Love y'all. Hang loose. Just be cool, man. Be nice. You don't have to kill them all today. Just be nice. Okay? Love you. Where's that bird at? I want to shoot him.